Hi guys, my name is Ben Guilford. I'm the owner of the Fire Brick Company, and this video is to answer a question that we get quite a lot, and that is, why do we have such stringent requirements around clearances to our flues? Our wood-fired ovens are incredibly well insulated. We look at the oven behind me as an example. It's one of our D105s. The dome of the oven over the brickwork, we have 50 millimeters of ceramic fiber blanket insulation, followed by 50 millimeters of perlite render, which is a lightweight insulating render. That means that for clearances to combustible materials, I only need 50 millimeters from the side here, right? So I've actually got my timber, wall material here is actually 50 millimeters away from my dome, and that's no problem. Even if I'm running the oven at 700 degrees, I'm still not going to get the outside of the oven hot enough to catch this timber wall on fire. Okay, now the difference with the flue is uninsulated. So if we look at a flue in an outdoor setting where it's a single skin flue, it is very thin stainless steel, and it's actually very easy to get that flue incredibly hot. So hot that you can make it glow orange and have flames pour out the top of it. Okay, now you say, oh, I'm probably not going to do that. I can't see how that would happen. It's actually quite easy to do it. And I think I've said this before in another video. You probably won't do it. Who will do it is maybe the teenage son that gets left in charge of the oven while you go to the shops to pick up some ingredients. And they might just think, I wonder how hot we can get this. Let's fill it with cardboard and see what happens. And so that's what I'm going to show you outside. We've got our D105 demonstration model that sits outside our showroom. It's been out there for nearly 7 years now. It's doing incredibly well. I'm going to show you what happens when you take an oven that's already hot and just shove it full of cardboard. And what actually happens when you put a whole lot of cardboard into a hot oven. So the oven outside is at around 450 Celsius, so it's good and hot, but that's not hot enough to make the flue glow orange and have flames pour out the top. But what happens when we put in a whole bunch of cardboard is that the cardboard all burns almost instantly. But it doesn't burn properly, right? There's so much gas created from the cardboard. The cardboard vaporizes, becomes a gas, and all of that gas flows out of the mouth of the oven, and then but it can't burn. So there's not enough oxygen to mix with it for it to burn. So there's all this unburnt gas flowing out the mouth of the oven, roaring up the chimney, and as it does so, it draws in fresh air from the front, which mixes in the chimney with these hot gases, and then gets secondary combustion inside the chimney. And the chimney will glow orange and flames will just pour out the top of it, and it's pretty exciting. It's good fun. So it's not something that we recommend you do. I'm going to show you this so you don't do this at home. But the idea of you seeing this is so you can understand why we're so serious when you might call up and say, oh, look, I'm thinking of putting my oven in this location. Look, there's a bit of a tree branch over the top of where the oven's going to be, but no, it shouldn't be too bad. And we'll say, look, we really don't recommend you have anything over the top of the flue. It should be a clear path upwards to the sky for at least 750 mil radius all the way around that flue. You need to have that clearance, and this is why. All right, so we have our oven behind us. It's sitting, well, a bit over 500 actually, so it's quite hot, but this would still work the same way if the oven was only at 400. I know this from previous experience. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to load it in, and this beautiful stainless steel flue is going to go from being stainless steel looking to glowing bright orange, but then afterwards it's actually going to have that copper patina, which some people like. If that's the way you like it, then this is how to get it, but I don't recommend you do this at home. Within seconds, we got flames pouring out the mouth here. So you can see how it's like, it's a gas. It's just, there's not enough oxygen available. So we got flames. Look at that! Look at that! That is crazy! Oh, that is awesome. This is why we have clearances around our Flue. We want you to stay safe. We don't want you to set neighboring buildings on fire. We don't want you to set vegetation on fire because it's this easy to do it. So I think you might see what I mean now, where if you put that much fuel into a wood-fired oven that's already hot, you get that massive amount of unburnt gas roaring up the chimney and mixing with fresh air that's being drawn in and getting secondary combustion in the chimney itself. And that's actually exacerbated if you have more than one length of flue. If you've got several lengths of flue, it'll actually be an even stronger effect where it burns for longer. And you can have some real serious, flue problems if you hadn't installed an appropriate flue system. So this is another reason why we always keep coming back to saying, if you're putting your flue through a roof, get a plumber. Get a plumber to do it and sign it off so that it's done properly, so that you know that they've used appropriate flue system that will cope with that. If I was to do this experiment, this oven in here, it would be fine. It's no problem because I've actually got a triple skin flue going up that protects all this lovely combustible ceiling above me from the heat of that flue. So the flue inside here, this is what you're looking at here is a two skin flue. Up higher it goes to triple skin because of its proximity to the timber ceiling. So this flue inside, the stainless steel inside, could glow orange and have flames roaring up it. And that's what the standards have in mind when they design for the flue requirements. They are assuming that the flue is glowing orange, and they want to make sure that the structure that they're going through doesn't burn down. Okay, so please don't mess around with flues. Make sure they're done properly. Get a licensed professional to install it for you, supply the right materials. But hopefully you enjoyed this video and maybe you learned something.